Yeah, I think it's great. Competition is going to bring the best out of the quarterback room. I know a lot of Husker fans on Twitter and stuff were upset that they were bringing in multiple guys. It's going to make people angry. But we talked about it on that broadcast. You can't sit here and try to make people happy. You just got to go get numbers because people are going to leave. It's just that era today. But I listened to Casey Thompson yesterday on a video called his first media availability as a Husker with Sean Callahan, and what I haven't listened to a ton of him before, but what a very insightful, smart individual. He was breaking down coverages of what he's going to see in the Big Ten compared to the Big 12, and how the passing lanes he thinks are going to be a little bit cleaner in the Big Ten. But he said that pass rush is going to be nasty with those four-man fronts. They can get after you, so it's going to make it difficult. But just more physicality in the league. He was breaking it all down, but I thought he had some really good points. He talked about his injury at Texas. I know this year clouded over with that thumb injury he had. He was talking with Sean, and he said he hadn't thrown in 8 weeks. It's the longest he's been without throwing a football in his life. But he said that thumb injury has been really, really serious, and it's something he had to get a procedure done on. So I think how he battled through that and he was playing with that for a little bit. I think that's really interesting to note with his stats kind of falling off towards the end of that season, like you mentioned, not playing that full season. But yeah, I mean, just a really smart guy, and I'm super pumped up. And like you said, the Husker coaching staff, you made it eminent that the coaching staff told them they're bringing in two guys, no matter what. And this was their plan. They wanted to bring in him, and they wanted to go after someone like Chubba. But I think the fact that he's still committed with knowing another guy's coming in and Nebraska has some talent behind him shows that he's bought into the system. He really likes the combination of Frost's option game with Whipple's pass game and what he did with Kenny Pickett. So, I'm super pumped up, and I think Purdy is someone that can grow in this system as well. But I think the biggest thing for the Huskers is having that combination of Frost with his knowledge of ground game and his knowledge of offense combined with Mark Whipple, who did fantastic things with Pitt this year.
We got the one audition from Logan Smothers against Iowa. He did make the one big mistake that possibly cost them the game, getting a chance to go in for the tying or winning score. But all things considered, they were playing a top 10 to 15 defense in the country, and that was really his first time really being the guy. And he acquitted himself pretty well. Had a 16 for 22 day, and they really leaned on him in the run game. They called running plays for him. He carried it 24 times, and that wasn't him just scrambling around. Those were designed running plays. So what did you gain from the one Logan Smothers audition against Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, I gained a lot of insight from that, and I think this is important to know for Husker fans. But Husker fans think since they brought in two guys that they're just over Logan Smothers, and that's not it. I think they want to bring in competition. They know what it takes to be good in this conference, what it takes to be good in college football. So, that game, you were right. They leaned on him. I was at the game, and they leaned on him super heavily in that running game. Tons of option. Triple option, that new era triple option where you get it out of the pistol and out of the spread. But, I think they knew, it being the last game of the season, that they could run him like that without, risking injury. It's not game one of the season where you lose him for the season. So I think it was interesting the way they played that. But, yeah, 16 to 22, a lot of easy passes, with Nebraska run. Iowa was creeping up. So a lot of those passes were wide open for him. But he did make them, and he hit people in stride. He did what he needed to. You're talking about he made some big mistakes in that game. He had an interception. He had a big fumble when Nebraska was moving the ball. So he had some issues in that game. But overall, I think the toughness and the grit that he displayed for Husker fans against the top defense in the country is something, that's it's going to show in spring ball when he's competing with these two quarterbacks and when he's trying to jockey his position into being someone that gets playing time, is showing that overall toughness. Because I think that's the biggest thing is his passing is something that's held him back a little bit, but his toughness in the running game is there. He just might have to get a little bit bigger, because I don't know if you can run 24 times a game in the Big Ten being that small.